Hey everybody, what's going on? This is Deadly, and today we're doing something a little bit different. We're not talking about Tarkov or DayZ or survival games. I'm going to talk a little bit about my experience as a full-time streamer on Twitch. And what inspired me to make this video was another content creator named Uber, who attempted to become a full-time streamer and build a community for the past 3 years, but unfortunately never got there, which is a story that many people share when they try to become a full-time broadcaster, or it's their dream to stream for a living. Now, what you guys are seeing on the screen is going to be largely just random Escape from Tarkov gameplay. This video isn't really about the gameplay, it's more about my personal story getting involved in streaming and maybe some recommendations for people who are interested in getting involved in broadcasting and maybe some tips that might help you along your path. So let's kind of start from the beginning of my Twitch career and YouTube career. Now, I've only started to grow on Twitch and YouTube since around 2015, 2016, but I've actually been in the online gaming community since 2006. I watched a YouTuber named WowHobs who made World of Warcraft videos, and I immediately was like, I want to do that. I want to participate. I want to get involved. I want to create content. I downloaded Fraps right away. I started making videos using Windows Movie Maker beta and just started uploading whatever idea I had to YouTube at the time. And back then, you were not able to monetize your videos. It was really early on. Google never even acquired YouTube yet. And I made YouTube videos off and on about World of Warcraft for years. Now, what's really important is I only did it for fun, and I still think I was pretty bad at it. I still think I'm not great. I'm always able to learn and become better, but it was very cringy stuff that I was throwing up there, but it didn't matter. I wanted to continue to produce videos because I loved to do it, and it was my hobby. It was something that I enjoyed doing. It was almost like something I looked forward to doing like once or twice a month. It wasn't very often. I wasn't uploading every single day. I would just have a video idea, make it happen. It took me a very long time to edit back then, put it up, and then I would get a couple hundred views. I started getting like 1,000 subscribers on YouTube, and I started building a little community and just wanted to help people get into World of Warcraft, teach them about the early stages of the game and how they can most efficiently level their characters to the end game. And then that's kind of where viewers would leave my channel and go and watch Gladiator players or Raiders. And I was 100% okay with that. I had a role in this like World of Warcraft community helping people get into the game, and I was very satisfied with that. So all of this took place between the years of 2006 and about 2012. So that's a very long time. That's 6 years off and on, not really caring about really growing my channel because I only had the time to make 1 or 2 videos a month. So I would just do it whenever I was bored, and people watched sometimes, and that was pretty much the end of it. Now, in around, I believe, late 2010, 2011, I started getting involved in a World of Warcraft channel called TGN, World of Warcraft, where there's a lot of other content creators. Some of them you might know if you're in the WoW community still to this day, like Bajira, Tally, Pure Shield, Cromar, Hangist, myself, and we made collaborative YouTube content on one channel, and it was pretty great. It was awesome, actually. It was some of the most fun content creating I've ever done. That was back when networked channels like Machinima were really popular. Now, this is my introduction to how I become a streamer. So this lays the foundation to what I'm doing today. So that's why I feel like it's important to tell you guys. But Tally actually started streaming on Justin TV and then recommended to all of us that we get on there and start streaming content live to promote the YouTube channel, which is a little bit backwards to what I do today. It's kind of the opposite. I make YouTube videos to promote the Twitch channel. So I started streaming on Justin TV with Tally and a bunch of other broadcasters, and it was a lot of fun. I actually got like 300, 400 viewers back then with a 360p stream, super low quality, but nobody was streaming back then. So obviously I had a spot. I had an opportunity to grow. And a few months after I started streaming on Justin TV, that's when Twitch was created, and all the gamers on Justin were automatically moved over to Twitch. So our channels were completely fine. Like, we were just ported over. And I actually became a partner fairly early on through my relationship with TGN and the other broadcasters. And back then, becoming a Twitch partner, all that meant was allowing you to run very low quality advertisements at the beginning of your stream and then running commercials. That was it. There was no sub button. There was nothing more to it. It was very basic. We called it the legacy partnership. I guess that's what Twitch calls it now. And as time goes on, I started to have to work more on the network because I had a massive role in TGN back then. And I started streaming less. I started making less YouTube videos, and I started just pouring all of my time and energy into work and helping other content creators become YouTube partners and monetize their YouTube channels. Because back then it wasn't so easy. You couldn't just slap AdSense on your channel. You needed to be with a gaming network before YouTube allowed you to have an AdSense. The reason why, this is not really what this video is about, but the reason why is because if there's any sort of legal issues and copyright issues between the IP holders of the video game and the content creator, then the network would be the mediator. So that's why it kind of worked that way. It no longer works that way now, but that was kind of the reason why there was so much gaming networks back then. And that required a lot of my attention. So started kind of stopping my stream, really didn't make a whole lot of YouTube videos. I started playing DayZ mod a little bit in my spare time and would make occasional DayZ mod videos. And I did a stream maybe once a month, maybe once every 2 months, very infrequent, and just kind of did it for fun still as a hobby, just like I did in high school, but just infrequent. And I did that off and on for a few years. Now, fast forward. So we're moving on. A couple years go by. So this is from 2011 all the way to 2014, I decided that I could do a 3-hour stream before I started working in the morning because I had a new job and the schedule was like, hey, I can start work at noon and then work until the evening. So I have all this free time in the morning to do a live stream. And I've always loved making videos as a hobby, and I really loved streaming on Justin TV. And there wasn't really any way to monetize that back in the day, and it was a lot of time commitment, and I just couldn't really keep up with it. But now I felt Twitch is really established. There's a sub button. There's multiple ways to monetize the broadcast. I already know how to stream because I already understand the technology behind it. I still have a relatively active YouTube channel so I can get some viewers into the stream, and I can really just start doing this daily morning stream again and kind of start off my day doing something I really love to do and then work a contracting job that I really did not like to do. And that stream that I started in June 2014 is the same stream style that I conduct to this day. So it's been about 4 years since I started back on Twitch and really dedicated myself to becoming a broadcaster. So June 2014 to September 2014, I started streaming again, and I was talking to Twitch, and they said they're not actually going to give me the sub button until I grow my channel again. So although I was still a Twitch legacy partner, I had the old partnership settings. I didn't have the sub button. So I started streaming DayZ standalone because I do love DayZ and I love survival games, and streamed frequently, like every single day. And then I would make a video or two a week, maybe sometimes less, but I would always mention, hey, I stream like every single morning starting at 8:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time for 3 hours. Come check out the stream. So in June 2014, I was getting about 20 viewers a stream, largely due to the fact that I already had a bit of a follower base and I was passing people over my way from YouTube. And then by August, I was getting about 50 viewers a stream, and by September, I was getting 100 viewers concurrently a stream. And if you're wondering how you grow to that point, it's really about being consistent, letting people know when you're going to be live, uploading your highlights to YouTube, and doing a little bit of editing and creating YouTube guides for the game that you're streaming, acquiring as much knowledge about the game that you're streaming as possible, be active in other people's communities in the category, never like beg for followers or hosts or anything like that. I received maybe 2 hosts from Mr. Chow and I Wins You Lose. And I'm going to talk a little bit more about like what you should do to grow a broadcast later, like once I'm kind of done explaining my story here. So got the sub button in 2014, and this happens to like a lot of streamers. And I think if you're a broadcaster, especially a partnered streamer, you can maybe relate to this. But I had those 100 concurrent viewers and I just got my sub button. And then just slowly over a period of 3 to 4 months, I went down. I actually didn't grow anymore because there was a lot of hype around the channel. A lot of people wanted to see me get that sub button. And then once I got it, the hype sort of left and I went from like 100 viewers down to like 50 viewers again. But you also have to remember, like, during all of this, I'm still working a full-time sales management contract, and I'm not relying on Twitch as a source of revenue. At this point in time, I was making maybe $100, $200 a month, and that was actually very helpful. It paid for my internet bill. I was living in a very expensive situation, downtown Ottawa, which is not cheap by any means. So it was nice. It was nice to get the odd donation here and there. The subscribers, I had about 50 active subscribers back then, and it was definitely beneficial, but I was never reliant on that. So I never put pressure on my community to donate to me or subscribe. I just kind of did my stream and then actually worked to get my paycheck. So just to close up this segment, started streaming in June 2014, got my partnership in late September 2014, and then continuing to stream without really growing a whole lot, like anywhere between 50 to 100 concurrent viewers until June 2015. So it's been a full year since I was doing my daily morning stream for about 3 hours, and we're at roughly anywhere between 60 to 100 concurrent viewers, depending on who was streaming in the DayZ category on the given day. So June 15th is going to be a major pivot point for my entire life, actually, moving forward, because I moved away from Ottawa back to the east coast of Canada to a small town in the Maritimes with only 1,000 people. And I decided to not renew my sales management contract because there was a shift in management, and it was going to the point where if I wanted to keep my job, I would have to move to Manila, Philippines. And I was not interested in that at all. There was a massive shift in management, and I did not agree with the head of operations. We did not agree at all, and we had to work very closely. It turned out that I was just starting to take all of his responsibilities, and I was working basically 3 to 4 jobs at once, and I was really just stressing myself out, and I also wanted to run the stream. So I made a decision to say, hey, I'm not going to continue working for you guys. I'm sorry, and I am going to find something else to do. But here's the problem. I moved to a small rural town in Canada with pretty much no job prospects for my line of work, and I don't really know what to do for an income. Luckily, I made a reasonable amount of money, and I don't spend a whole lot of money. I'm fairly frugal, so I had a lot in my savings. So I was like, hey, you know what? I'm making a few $100s a month on my live stream. If I take the live stream that I'm doing now, extend it, like double the amount of time I stream every single day, and then increase the amount of YouTube videos I make on a weekly basis, maybe I'll make minimum wage doing my broadcast. So that was my goal. Like, my goal was basically to make about $1,300 Canadian a month doing my live stream. And that's after I've already been streaming for a year. So this is now the shift in focus from doing it just as a hobby and starting to put my focus on potentially doing this for a living. So it's June 2015. I make all these changes. I start streaming more, and I announce I'm streaming full time. So the next 12 months, I am not going to lie, are some of the most difficult and challenging months of my entire life. I have never been in a situation where I've had so much self-doubt that it was a bummer, actually. I was very stressed out. So moving from having a steady paycheck and good benefits to being completely self-reliant is one crazy transition. So it was tough because the stream did not grow that much at all, if at any, in a 12-month period. Day in, day out, I was growing in follower base, but I didn't really grow too much between June 2015 to June 2016. Now, I was living off my savings. I was getting occasional help from my parents, and obviously extremely generous supporters and subscribers and donators. Now, I didn't really have more than 100 active subscribers during any of this point, and I was only making maybe $100 to $200 a month on donations. But I made it very clear that I never wanted to put pressure on my community to ever give me money, and I never complained. That's really important. Like, I never was like, guys, I need you to donate or else I'm going to be kicked out of my apartment. I had savings from my previous job. I was burning through them extremely slowly. I was being very cautious with the money I was spending. So I was like not really making any money. I was losing money, but every single month I would lose a little bit less. So again, just that, I think too many new broadcasters put far too much pressure on their communities to give them money so they can live week by week, month by month. And I started to basically do what we broadcasters call the grind. Day in, day out, taking very little time off. Pretty much between June 2015 and June 2016, I don't think I took 7 days off, including weekends. So Monday through Sunday, every single day, streaming no less than 5 hours a day, sometimes up to 7 or 8 hours a day, and also conducting frequent 12 and 24-hour streams to grow my follower base. My goal was not to gain subscribers or donations. It was to grow and get people to follow the channel. And I still believe that to this day. Followers are incredibly important to Twitch and are vastly overlooked by so many broadcasters, because the more people that are following you, you have a wider platform. Whenever somebody stops by Twitch, they're going to see your face in their follower bar, and you have an increased probability of them landing on your stream. And the more times they land on your stream, the higher chance that they'll actually become a dedicated member of your community and consider subscribing or even tossing $1 here and there every couple months. And you got to remember, during all this, I was uploading about at least one video a week to my YouTube channel. So a year goes by. We're now June 2016, 1 year on the grind. Where do we stand? Well, unfortunately, not as strong as I would like to be. I'm still not breaking even. I'm still losing money on a monthly basis, although instead of losing thousands of dollars a month, I'm now only losing hundreds of dollars a month. So my bank account is not completely depleted at this point, but we're getting pretty close, and it's getting a little scary. And my now fiance and I were having a lot of tough conversations about potential plan Bs. And there wasn't a whole lot of fun plan Bs or plan Bs that I was really interested in. I thought like deeply about getting my bartending license and potentially doing some bartending part-time, or just getting a part-time job somewhere to supplement my income. In June 2016, it was a pretty tough time. Although the subscriber base was rather healthy, I think we were just around 200 subscribers, and my concurrent viewer base was anywhere between 100 and 200 viewers at this point. So there was definitely growth, like over the year, but you know, it's still, we're not talking like being able to comfortably stream full-time numbers. We're still losing money, just not as much, and potentially considering getting a part-time job. And this is after 2 years streaming every single day on Twitch. The first year with a job, the second year without one. And what's even crazier is on my 2016 tax return, I was just looking at that recently, I actually was below the poverty line during that entire year, because I made no money between January to about July. But something happened, and this was the breakthrough moment. Right here, you've listened to me speak for about 19 minutes, and this is the golden goose. This is what literally changed everything and started things on the right path. But in order to hear this, you're going to have to go to the link in the description box below and buy my $40 ebook. Nah, I'm just fucking around. Don't worry. I got you guys covered. So you know how I was talking about starting a part-time job. So I was looking around and didn't really see anything that I wanted to do, but it was getting pretty serious to the point where I needed to do something. And I was like, you know what? What if I YouTubed as my part-time job? You know, right now I'm making one video a week or so. What if I did a video every single day? What would that be like? How long does it take me to edit a video? At this point, 4 hours or less, I can get a video done. How long am I streaming? About 6 hours a day. So a 10-hour workday is not that abnormal, especially if I balance it out. And, you know, obviously I work more than 10 hours a day most of the time with email and all the other stuff that comes along with streaming. But in theory, it was about 10 hours, and I figured I could make that happen. So in July of 2016, around, well, late June, July. Let's just say July. I started making a YouTube video every single day. And at the end of every single video, I was like, be sure to check out my live stream starting every single morning, starting at 8:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time and Sundays at noon. And you still hear me say that at the end of every single video I upload today. And that's the reason. If people liked the video highlights, because all of my videos, if you guys haven't noticed, are pretty much edited Twitch highlights. I'm not a full-time YouTuber. I'm a part-time YouTuber that uploads edited Twitch highlights. That's why my content, I feel, is never quite as good as specific full-time YouTubers, but I don't want to be a full-time YouTuber, man. With this demonetization shit that's happening, I'm glad that I'm a full-time streamer and a part-time YouTuber, and I'm going to be keeping it that way. So the channel started to grow slowly, but I started seeing some massive positive growth. I believe I was around 30,000 YouTube subscribers when I started making videos every single day. And I started growing very quickly in the DayZ category, started making a lot of cool videos of the highlights that I had on the stream. People wanted to watch it live, so they checked out the live stream. More people started to subscribe to the live stream. I started getting like 250 to 300 active subscribers and around 250 to 300 concurrent viewers during my live streams for DayZ. And most importantly too, because I'm doing this full time for a living, I started making minimum wage. So instead of losing money, I started to break even. I wasn't really gaining much, but my bank account stopped declining for the first time. It was around, I believe, September 2016 when that happened. And then the next extremely lucky thing happened. Twitch Prime was October 2016. And I went up from about 250 subscribers to about 500 subscribers by the beginning of January 2017. And the YouTube channel was making about $100 a month. And then when I started doing daily uploads, that went up to around $500 a month. So now my part-time job was finally starting to bring home some bacon and supplement my Twitch income. So combined together, I was making over minimum wage. So January 2017 is off to an amazing start. Thanks to Twitch Prime, I had over 500 active members subscribed on Twitch, and the YouTube channel was getting 500,000 views every single month and approaching 1 million views every month. So the financial foundation that I needed to continue streaming indefinitely for a living, at least making minimum wage, was done. That goal was finally achieved, and I could start moving forward and just focus on doing what I love to do, and that's streaming day in and day out, trying to grow the community as much as I can, but not really too stressed out anymore about making my rent or paying my bills. Now in January 17th, that's when I entered the closed alpha for Escape from Tarkov as well, and I was in a signed NDA situation. So although I wasn't able to make any YouTube videos for Tarkov, I was able to learn about the game, play it, and then ultimately became addicted to it. I was playing it every single day. I would end my DayZ stream early so I could start playing Escape from Tarkov. A few months later, in March, the NDA was lifted, and I started streaming a little bit of Escape from Tarkov after my DayZ broadcasts. However, the game wasn't really in a state where you could stream it constantly for about 5 to 6 hours. There was a lot of issues with it, and it was very preliminary. So I continued to stream DayZ standalone up until July 2017 when there was a major patch released for Escape from Tarkov, and that's when, in my opinion, the game entered its streamable state and people started to really grow in the Twitch community on Tarkov. And I started doing 50% DayZ and 50% Tarkov, and within a few months DayZ wasn't really going anywhere at all. 0.62, which is still to this day the stable branch patch in DayZ standalone, was out and people were kind of bored of it. I found that my stream's concurrent viewership was peaking. I wasn't really growing anymore on Twitch, and I still had this big audience of 400 or 500 people, but I felt like we were trapped in the DayZ category, unable to move anywhere, and I needed to make a decision. People were really excited about Escape from Tarkov. I was reasonably good at the game for the time. I had a decent knowledge base about the game, and people enjoyed streaming it to the point where they were requesting it almost over DayZ. So in September 2017, the game that I streamed every single day for over 3 years, that built my streaming platform, I stopped playing and started playing Escape from Tarkov. When you decide to do that on Twitch, especially as a full-time streamer, you're doing something what I call gambling your channel. It's not something you should do unless you feel the time is absolutely right. But what's going to happen is you're going to lose probably 60 to 70% of your concurrent viewership and audience because they don't want to see that particular game. And that's nothing you can really do about that. It's just natural on Twitch. And you're trading that in the hopes that the new gaming category that you switch to will give you more potential and more growing opportunities than your previous one. A lot of people play this game and a lot of people lose, but for me, it paid off. For the first 2 months, my concurrent viewership was 40% of what it normally was. However, slowly over time, I started getting back to 400, 500 viewers a stream. My YouTube videos started to grow. I started to make Escape from Tarkov guides and gameplay videos. And then my presence in that community was known, established, and started to grow further and beyond I could ever go in DayZ standalone. And at the end of 2017, I ended the year with 1,000 active Twitch subscribers, and the YouTube channel was vastly approaching 100,000 YouTube subscribers. And I was also getting over 1 million views on the YouTube channel every single month, pulling in a decent amount of income, around $1,000. And that took a lot of extra pressure off me as well. Actually, the $1,000 from my YouTube channel is what started paying my grocery bill and my internet bill and my utilities. So now we're in 2018, this current year, entering my 4th year on Twitch doing daily streams, and I grew from 1,000 active subscribers till now, which is May. We're currently sitting at around 2,000 active subscribers, and the YouTube channel is reaching 1.5 million views every single month. And I got my YouTube silver play button with over 100,000 YouTube subscribers. And my average concurrent viewership, it really just depends on the day and who's streaming and the current environment in Escape from Tarkov, if there's a patch coming out. But on average, I would say it's around 1,700 concurrent viewers. Some days it goes up to all the way to 3,000. On patch day, it's even gone up to 4,000. If I play any other game that's out of the category, it's usually around 500 concurrent viewers. Games that are similar to DayZ or Tarkov is around 1,000 to 1,500 viewers. So I'm now in a position where I can basically stream any game that is relatively similar to DayZ or Escape from Tarkov and actually experience positive growth because of it. So we're now sitting around 30 minutes in, and I think you guys now have a full understanding of where I got started, my journey along the way, some of the concurrent viewership and milestone moments over the years, so you can see the slow buildup and decision making that sort of has led to my current success on Twitch today. So my current plan is to continue doing my daily stream every single morning starting at 8:30 a.m., continuing that completely with Escape from Tarkov, but also not limiting myself to that game, but I identify as a survival shooter streamer. So I do DayZ, I do Escape from Tarkov, I play the best survival shooters the world has to offer, creating videos and guides for those games and playing the best ones available. Lately, I've been finding it very difficult to maintain a daily YouTube schedule, so I've been uploading about 4 to 5 videos a week. I am trying my best to get back to the point where I can upload 7 videos a week. I think I just need more content or a secondary game to help balance out my schedule a little bit. But I will be getting back to a daily YouTube regimen very soon, and I do plan on expanding my content on YouTube and possibly spending more time on YouTube, or at least getting a dedicated schedule, because that's the one thing about YouTube. I'm not scheduled at all. I can upload a video at 8 in the morning or at 12 p.m. So if there's anything that I could work on to help me even more is create a dedicated, strict YouTube schedule and commit to it. I'm going to be expanding the merchandise store so you guys can get some more graphic tees surrounding the broadcast, or different types of logos and different types of things from the broadcast. And I've completely redone all of these subscription badges, moving away from the Revolutionary Fist to Skull Shields. And I still kind of collaborate a few times a week with my stream team, the Marksmen, and also doing the odd collaboration with the new broadcasters or established broadcasters, but I primarily do solo streaming. And this concludes how I got my start on Twitch and my journey along the way to success, to growing a stream that is reaching 1,700 concurrent viewers and financially stable. Now, in this podcast, I never really talked about things that you guys as new broadcasters should focus on. And I was going to include it here, but I've already been recording for over 30 minutes. So this video gives you guys a better understanding of who I am, how I got into YouTubing and Twitch, and my road to Twitch success. The next podcast will be about some of the tips that I recommend for new streamers, some of the things you should be focusing on, some tips and tricks, and also kind of taking a look at some other broadcasters, some lessons that I've learned from my Twitch friends, and then also some lessons from observing some broadcasters that may have been doing the wrong thing and unfortunately are no longer streaming to this day because of it. So I was just thinking to myself here as we're kind of closing this down as what we're going to call it. And I think SLOBCAST is a perfect name. And I don't think there's another SLOBCAST out there. Probably people are going to be scratching their heads when they read the name of this. But nonetheless, I hope you guys enjoyed listening to my story. And I hope you guys learned a little bit about me, who I am as a person, and maybe learned something if you're an aspiring Twitch broadcaster. Have a fantastic night, and I'll see you guys next time.